Hello, inmates, and welcome back to Twisted Chamber. I'm Natasha.
I'm Kat.
Welcome, welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Now, I will say that you might see that we're wearing exactly the same clothes as the episode previously, and that is because we are.
We are.
We have really busy schedules with work and stuff. So sometimes we'll be filming a couple of episodes at once. Sometimes you might just get one really long one for the day, but they will be uploaded at least once a week on YouTube, and there will be some snippets on our Instagram page.
That's right. So we post pictures weekly as much as we can about what we're talking about, or who we have for the next week. So please give us a follow.
Yep, Twisted Chamber. That's the name of it.
You'll see the new addition to the Twisted Chamber. We have little Dot.
We have Dot. She's currently asleep. She's asleep right now.
She's asleep. It's really hot. We went for a little walk. She's had some ice. She's on some cold tiles right now. So I don't want to get her and fuss her right now. She's having a nap.
She's having a chill. But I can imagine that once she gets used to this, she will probably be on.
She'll be around.
She'll
be in our little chamber hanging out.
She will with his fellow inmates. Sorry.
So we have a name that we're gonna try to continue on with, called Inmates. Anyone that follows us, you guys are the inmates.
You are in the chamber with us, and this is where you will stay until we decide to let you out.
Let's just talk about weird and wonderful things.
Exactly that. Yes, exactly.
Weird and wonderful.
Yep. So keeping on the theme of last week, we had missing persons cases, and this week I have an interesting and very mysterious case that I want to tell you about.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited to listen. I'm going to get my my trusty notebook because I'm going to have some questions. Okay. I know I will.
It's fine.
I'm excited.
I already have questions, and I did the research, so it's fine.
Oh, I moved the camera.
Okay. It may be.
Oh dear.
Slightly me. There we go. Is that better?
There we go, guys.
Yeah,
sorry.
Got swung to the wrong side. It's okay. So I shall begin.
Yeah.
So I am going to be talking about the disappearance of Dennis Martin. Dennis Lloyd Martin was born on the 20th of June in 1962 in Knoxville. Every year his family, as a tradition, would go on a guy's camping trip. His brother, his dad, his grandfather, they all went away one weekend. It happened to be Father's Day weekend, so all the boys were off. They were all off going camping. They'd hiked from Cades Cove to Russell Field, which is in the, oh no, where is it? Oh, I didn't write down where it was.
Oh, what, where he
vanished.
What, like the, what, like what state, what country?
Pretty much.
So we don't know where Dennis Martin is from. Where is he then, Tash? Google it. This is why we have trusty Google. Look, everyone, right? We're trying to write notes. Yeah, honestly, we're trying to write notes.
How did that even fail? I swear I have it written down here somewhere.
This is what's going to happen from time to time. Let's have a look.
Let Kat save me from this, because it's a national.
Is it a national park?
It's a national park. I did write it down.
Great
Smoky Mountains National Park.
There we go. Okay, it is, and it's in Tennessee.
It's in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Google is amazing.
Google is amazing, and I do apologize, but you know what? It's okay. I don't care. It's fine. We've got facts here.
Hey, facts are facts.
There we go.
Yeah. That's right.
So none of unfortunately, I have pictures of the national park and stuff, and I will upload them on Instagram. I won't show you on this because you can't see them very well anyway. But they hiked from Cades Cove to Russell Field, where they spent one night camping under the stars, just enjoying a kind of a guy's kind of weekend. Then they decided they would move on, and they would hike to Spencerfield, which is near no, I can't say this word. Appalachian.
They say it's Appalachian or Appalachian.
Oh, okay.
So everyone has a fight about it. People fight about it. Look, we called it Appalachian.
That's fine. We'll go with that. We don't have those people. We don't have that here. So in the UK, we don't have Appalachian Appalachian people in the UK, I believe.
Appalachian.
Sorry. Where they were planning to spend a night, but unfortunately that never happened because at 4:20 p.m. on June the 14th, Dennis disappeared in thin air. Him and his friends at the campsite, there was loads of other kids and everyone was playing around. And they all decided they'd play a prank on the parents. So they were hiding in the nearby bushes. And Dennis's dad thought it was hilarious because Dennis had on a bright red t-shirt. And even though he was trying to sneak up and hide from his dad could still see him in the bushes because of his bright red top. So he was still visibly seen. Then after a few minutes, the boys were coming out and they were jumping out and they were scaring their parents and shouting boo and things like that. And Dennis never resurfaced. So his dad went behind the bush, and I mean the bush, it was right there. Like, it wasn't even like he couldn't have seen his son, or his, if he called out his son's name, he would have heard his dad calling him. So it wasn't even like they were miles away from each other. They were really close, and he just disappeared. His dad followed the trail, because in the mountains and stuff, obviously there's trails that people go down when they're hiking and stuff. So his dad traveled 2 miles down a trail where they thought that he was going to be, and there was no trace of his son. Literally 5 minutes, and there was no trace of his son whatsoever. After several hours, the grandfather actually hiked, and I think, if I remember reading it rightly, he hiked about 9 miles to get to the ranger station.
9 miles.
We're talking back in 1962. There were no cell phones. There was no GPS. If you were stuck, you had to trek it. So his granddad walked 9 miles to the ranger station, where they told him what happened. They sent people out to search for him. Unfortunately, that night there was a massive downpour of rain, which caused rivers to form. Whatever evidence there could have been would have probably been washed away by the water. And so that next day they started a search party, and so far in history, I believe it's 1,400 people were searching for this young boy, and it's the largest search party they've ever had in a national park before.
Oh wow.
The boy was 6 years old. He was only 6 years old when he disappeared. They did find 1 set of footprints and 1 barefoot, and they measured the footprints, and they had said that this footprint was the same size as Dennis's shoe. This could have been the young boy's footprint, but they also had scouts and Boy Scouts helping them search, and they said, actually, no, it wasn't his footprint. It was maybe one of the local Boy Scouts that was searching. It was maybe one of his footprints. A little while later, they did find a shoe and a sock, but no other follow-up evidence from that shoe and sock was identified as being Dennis's. There's just no evidence. They stopped the search on 14th of September 1969, and to this date, this young boy has been missing for 53 years and 22 days. Now, there are reports and theories about what could have happened to this poor boy. I'm not sure how many of these theories I believe or think are correct. The boy was so close to his father that I think that if an animal had taken him, the boy would have screamed. You may have heard the growling of the animal. You definitely might have heard the rustling of bushes and things like that. I mean, you're talking a bear. If the boy can be seen with his red jumper and his dad's conscious that he's behind this bush, you're going to see a bear.
It's scary. That's scary.
That's scary.
Because why was he silent?
Yes.
Why was he silent?
Why was he silent?
If an animal did attack you, you would yell out or a scream, especially a child, 6-year-old child, right? That doesn't make any sense.
No. Like,
someone would have to come up behind you and close your mouth and rip you away so fast. What was around there?
Nothing. They had.
This was in the campsite.
So it was rural camping. So there wasn't any I don't know back then what campsites were like, but there were, as far as I was aware from what I was reading, you were literally in the middle of nowhere. You set your fire up, you set your tent up, you were camping there, sitting on logs, and again, back then we didn't have the camping stuff that we have now. So it's not even like a tent, like a proper, you know, you would have had a sheet, the ground sheet, and some sticks and stuff. That would have been about it. So it was proper rural camping. They did say that wildcats and things are there, but again, if you're being, this is a 6-year-old boy, a wild cat wouldn't be able to pick him up. You'd have to drag him somewhere. So if the cat had dragged him off, surely his dad would have seen something.
Even if a bear dragged him off, you could track a bear and find bones or something like that where it had eaten. It won't swallow it.
No, it would,
you know, what trace, what the fact that there has been no trace of Dennis since. For me, I would say that he was abducted.
Yes.
They were at a campsite.
Yes.
There's RVs.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All you have to do is take a little kid, horrible little bastards. Horrible people, right? Take little kids, get in your RV and leave.
Yes. But again, if the distance between the bush and the kid and the dad, surely,
how big was the bush? How tall was it?
From the pictures, it doesn't look like it's that. Like, obviously, it's not the bush.
We will be posting a picture of how tall the bush is because how does a 6-year-old child disappear
in a bush? Because you would see the adult, wouldn't you see the adult? Like, wouldn't you see a man creeping up? I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe if he came from behind. Maybe.
How late was it?
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
So people can see. It is light outside.
Yeah. And his son had a bright red jumper that he could visibly see him in the brush. He could see him. So it's not even like he was wearing green or anything.
Then here's another theory. His dad did it.
No, because his dad was there with the granddad and they were all waiting. So his dad would have had to have got up and left to have then come back and been like, oh no, my son's missing. Like, it just wouldn't have, the grandfather would have known because they were all sat waiting.
But what if they're both in on it?
Maybe.
Remember, this is in the 60s.
Yes.
They beat their children.
Yes.
Kids were beaten.
Yes.
You know, what if something happened and he was punished too harshly and they tried to cover it up?
But that wouldn't explain the other people at the campsite. There were other families that were all meeting up. They were all friends. It wasn't.
Yeah, but they weren't there yet.
Yeah, they were, because they were playing with the other kids. It was a big group of them. They were all playing together. Yeah, all the dads were all waiting for all the boys to come out and jump and scare them as part of the game. They knew they were they knew where they were hiding. They could see them. So he's vanished. I mean, another theory is that he wandered off. Maybe a 6-year-old thinking, oh no, maybe dad can see me. Maybe he did wander further into the bushes and then got lost.
You know, maybe it was a game. Maybe he ran away and a bear took him further on.
Yes.
Further than they thought. But how much of a distance did they search? This was in the 60s.
This was in, I mean, 1,400 people. That's quite a vast.
That's loads of people.
That's loads of people searching. But again, I've never been to any national parks like that in America. I've never been. But do you remember when we went walking, when we did our walk for cancer?
Yes.
And we went to Southern Neck Forest?
Yes.
Do you remember that really fucking thick serial killer part of the woods where there would just, I mean.
Now let's give you some backstory here.
Yes.
Savernake Forest is in Marlborough in England, in the UK. And it's super, super old. There was a murder case. A man with a shotgun was walking around Savernake Forest. He killed some people through Hungerford. and some other town in the UK. It's in Berkshire.
Mhm.
So you guys can look that up. But there's some crazy vibes there. We might actually, you know what? We might actually go to Savernake Forest with you guys and do like a portable live spooky
kind of trek.
Yeah.
Because it would be interesting to see it as it is, because obviously I know some people out there, if there's any American listeners, you may have been to a national park and you may know what it's like, but honestly in Savernake Forest, if you got lost in that thicket of woods, you would never get out.
You wouldn't
you
know
get out.
If a 6-year-old ran around in there, like, we struggled to keep on a trail.
Yeah, we did
get lost.
Yes, we did.
We're adults.
Yes, we did.
It was hard. It was really difficult, and it was some thick brush. You'd run away and you wouldn't understand where you are. No. But thankfully here in this country, you don't have things like big cats. You don't have things like bears here that can consume you.
Yes.
You can go for a walk, your kid can run around, and the only thing you have to think about and be scared of is humans.
Yes, exactly.
They're so scary.
Terrifying people.
Yeah.
But
poor Dennis and his poor parents, they must be absolutely traumatized.
And then there was actually at the national park that day, another guy said he heard a scream, and then a rough, feral looking man. I'm sorry, feral humans are a thing.
What is a feral human?
Like a wild human, like a human that is wild, that lives in the bushes. Like actual now I have pictures of feral humans, and there's stories of them living in the wilderness, eating cannibals, eating other humans. I mean, that's a whole other episode.
Now look, that's an episode for sure.
That is an episode. But I mean, I found links to stories. There's a guy in Germany, he was kidnapped by a pack of wolves. His parents came home one day and their son had been kidnapped by a pack of wolves. And he learned to walk on all fours, and he ate and hunted with them, and he couldn't speak.
Let me go ahead and tell you that called The Jungle Book.
That's called The
Jungle Book. And that's...
I'm not sure it's as nice as Disney.
That sounds nice. Horrible.
Disney, I'm not sure he sang. I'm not sure.
Maybe we'll have to do an episode about him too.
We might have to do an episode about him. But there are actual cases of people who are feral. They just...
That's
and
terrifying.
Whether they eat people, whether they capture people, I don't know. You know what? I wouldn't like to say, because everyone likes to live their life and everyone wants to live their life how they want to live. And maybe people want to live in a bush and they want to eat a thigh.
It's just not cool, man.
It's not cool.
Nah.
It's not cool. You shouldn't do it.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
No.
And leave kids alone.
How
about that?
There are plenty of mean people in the world.
Let the kids play.
Just let the kids
go do your thing, man.
They just want to play with the dad.
In the 60s, I'm terrified that he was abducted by a serial killer, right? There were loads of them in the 60s, 70s, 80s, where they didn't have access to loads of DNA testing.
Loads.
So, I'm wondering if they were confused with the sock situation. They didn't know, why don't they DNA test that today?
Yes.
Why don't they DNA test that? Or did it get wet? Did it get wet in that storm?
Well, this is it. I think if it maybe wasn't for the storm, that maybe they would have found something, because the scent of anything would have been washed away by the rain. Any footprints, any items of most things, especially with these fast running forest bed rivers. I mean, it's just mud, leaves and sticks. And anything would have possibly been washed for miles.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's one of those ones that nature did the hiding, and maybe there could have been.
Did nature do the hiding, or did a human do the hiding?
Oh,
we are at a campsite. Do you know how many cases are out there of kids who were abducted by someone in an RV at a campsite?
Yes.
It's to me, that would be number one.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Well, I did read, and I wrote it down, that 1,600 people a year go missing in national parks. What mysteriously vanished?
Aliens.
It just,
It's aliens again, everyone. It's aliens again. How does that make sense? How does that number make any sense?
and it doesn't say missing, it says mysteriously vanished. That's what it says. That's what it says.
That means that
Mysteriously
there's no
vanished.
trace of them.
No trace.
Most of the time, I'm gonna say bear or alien.
Or alien.
Because why wouldn't you find a piece of clothing?
Yes.
Something.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I don't want to go on a trail and then poof, you're gone.
Well, this is it.
Poof. That's it.
Just gone.
That's gone out of
Yeah.
existence. Poof, you're
Yeah.
see ya.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? No one knows.
No one knows.
No one knows.
No one knows. But
It's a mystery.
especially when everything goes missing with them.
Do you come back? If you're a missing person, do you just get like taken to another dimension?
Ooh.
Hey,
Maybe they're watching us.
hey, you know what? All realities and all questions.
All questions.
We're all here for all questions.
We're all here for
Okay. We
and
are
I
here
would love
for
some
it.
answers.
Yeah,
Literally would love some answers.
I'm gonna move
No,
that.
that's fine. I did see it.
There we
It
go.
might have been my fault.
Sorry.
Adjusting. We have to adjust these things
It's our feet.
sometimes. It's our
Yeah,
feet.
that's what it is.
Yes, it is.
Well, that was a really interesting case. I liked
Yes.
that.
Yes.
I did.
I
I feel
just-
horrible for his parents, but
yeah.
that was really scary, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'm literally. I really want to explore the feral people. Like, I would like to research some
You know.
feral people. Yeah.
Well, that's an episode that'll come out soon.
Yeah,
then, you
'Cause I
know.
know of a man that just barks when he talks.
Well, you know, sounds awful.
He does. He barks.
That's terrifying.
It's just he just barks.
you know, look,
like a dog.
yeah, that's no. It's like Bigfoot or something. It's like
I
someone
d-
found. I swear that's what Bigfoot is. It's
What, like a
feral
feral
people.
person? Maybe.
Probably
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, definitely.
Right then, everyone.
Thanks for listening,
Yeah.
inmates. Please click the like button and subscribe if you can.
Yeah.
I'm just going to move slightly here because I'm off camera. But click and subscribe, please. It would mean a lot to us. Our email is twistedchamber@yahoo.com. Any questions? Anything you want to know?
Yeah.
Shoot us an email.
Questions about this.
Yeah.
What's your theory?
Yeah, exactly that.
on poor little Dennis.
And
you
feral
know,
people.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Let's just
You
throw
know,
that one out there.
Do you think a feral person grabbed little Dennis and ran away into their den and no one found him in a national park? No, personally, no. I
It's
don't
like
think
sting
so.
in the dump.
You know, oh, that's so bad. So bad. You know.
Oh,
But
dear,
yeah, everyone, thank
voice
you
message.
so much.
Thank you. We'll let you go now. Next time you might not be so lucky.
Yep.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.